welcome back to week 2 of our English conversation course. Today I thought I'd ask some of the people in my household about their favorite fall activities. So this is my mother, Janet, and we're going to talk a little bit about fall. So tell me, Mom, what is your favorite thing to do in the fall? Or tell me some of your favorite things to do.
Well, I really like to walk outside in the fall because the weather is usually perfect and nice, and it's very pretty with the leaves all changing colors.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite color overall, or do you have a favorite combination of colors that you like in the fall?
I really love the fall yellows and reds. The leaves that turn those colors are my favorite. I really like to go apple picking in the fall. That's a fun activity to do. We do that with our family sometimes. And then you come home with all the apples and you can bake with them, which is great.
Yes. What's your favorite baked apple thing to make?
The baked apple cake that has kind of a caramel layer on it is my very best favorite.
So speaking of fall foods, we also have other things that are seasonal foods in New England. What other things do you like to make in the fall?
Nothing smells better than cider simmering on the stove with the spices in it, the cinnamon and the cloves, and so mulled cider. We call that mulled, I guess.
Yeah, so hot apple cider.
Hot apple cider.
Mm-hmm.
And then baking things like soups, and especially with fall vegetables like squash. So squash soup is delicious. Lots of baking in the fall is just fun because it's cool enough that having the oven on and smelling good is always fun.
Always fun, yeah. And I happen to know that you really like to decorate. Can you tell us what kinds of flowers you can use and other outdoor decorations work well in the fall?
Oh, all kinds of things. Vines that have berries on them, like bittersweet vines, are a big fall decorating thing. Sometimes branches of fall leaves that are changing colors. Pumpkins that come in so many different colors now, which I think is just really fun. They're not just orange anymore. They come in green and white and yellow and all kinds of things. And then mums are a really popular fall flower.
I just recently learned that mums is short for the
chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum.
Yes.
So the name of the flower is chrysanthemum, but people just say mums for short.
Right.
So we've talked all about a lot of things that are really fun in the fall and that you really like in the fall. What do you dislike about fall?
Well, I dislike that fall ends and then it gets cold.
So you really don't like the
cold.
cold.
I don't like the cold. Winter is pretty with the snow, but I don't like the cold. And I don't like when the leaves all come down and we have to rake them and get them off the grass.
Yeah, we have
Like this. Yeah, that's depressing. And then the branches on the trees all look very sad and without their leaves.
Kind of bare.
Yes. So those are the things I don't like.
Another thing that people think about in the fall is kind of back to school times. Do you have any memories of back to school or any other things that started in the fall that you look forward to as a kid?
When I was a kid, I loved back to school because you were going to go back and see all your friends again after a summer break. And every year my mom would take me, your grandma, would take me out shopping for back to school clothes. So I got to choose some special clothes for back to school. So that was really fun. And then when you guys were little, it was very fun to see you get on the bus and wave from the bus windows going to school.
Yes. So, and then you get some time alone.
And then I get some time alone. Exactly.
So lots of parents like back to
Yes.
school. So let's see. We've talked about lots of different things. We talked about going to the apple orchards for apple picking. Do you know the names of some orchards in the area?
We go to Shelburne Farms, which is in Stowe, right, very close to Acton, and we go to Honey Pot Orchards, which is in Stowe also. Stowe has a lot of apples, apparently. There are a couple others that I have not been to that are fairly close by, but those two, both of those orchards have animals that you can see, like not a petting zoo exactly, but
Some animals in
some
residence.
animals that you can watch.
Yes.
I think there are llamas at Shelburne Farm, which is fun. Honey Pot has, I think, a maze that you can go through.
Yeah, a corn maze.
Corn maze.
Right.
That you can kind of get lost in. That scares me a little, but some people like that.
I think you can maybe take hay rides.
Hay rides,
Yeah.
that you can do hay rides.
Can you explain
there.
what a hay ride is if people haven't
Oh,
been on
they
one?
have a tractor that pulls a wagon, and then people sit in the back of the wagon on top of bales of hay, big bundles of hay, and you can ride around. They'll drive you around the apple orchard, so you can see the orchard while riding, and you're in a sort of fun open air cart.
Yeah,
which
lots
is-
of kids
which is
really like
fun.
it.
But the best thing about the apple
Oh.
orchards, you know what I'm going to
I
say.
do know what you're going to say.
The best thing is that in the fall, the apple orchards always make hot cider donuts. So
Mhm.
with the apple cider, they make donuts, which are these little fried dough pastry things that are just so delicious and light and fluffy and
Mhm.
dripping in cinnamon sugar and delicious.
But you have to eat them hot, right?
Yeah, they're best hot. The ones at the grocery store are not the same.
Not the
at
same.
all.
So you have to go
have to
somewhere where they're making them.
go to the orchard. Yeah.
And then what about fall holidays? Do you have any fall holidays that you like or dislike?
Well, we've always gotten together with family on Labor Day, which is an
Mhm.
early fall holiday. It's kind of the beginning of fall, really. And we usually cook out on Labor Day, which is always fun with family.
Mm-hmm.
And Grandma likes her hot dogs on
Yes,
the grill
yes.
on Labor Day.
Our grandmother doesn't eat hot dogs very often, so she looks forward to the days that she gets to eat hot dogs. What about like Thanksgiving and Halloween?
Thanksgiving is still fall, yes. Halloween is not my favorite holiday.
No.
No.
You don't like scary things
I don't like
or gross
scary,
things.
and I don't like, the spiders and gravestones and skeletons and all of those things
Yeah.
that people like for Halloween. But Thanksgiving, now that's an all-food holiday.
Yes,
It's
yes.
fun because we can always talk about all the things that we're thankful for,
Mhm.
and it's important to remember to be thankful. And we get to be thankful for really good food. Thanksgiving has great food, so that's
It
a
is.
fun
It
holiday
is.
for the food.
Yes. So
And
we'll,
family.
yes.
Get together too.
So we'll look forward to that at the end of fall, even
Yes.
though it will be almost winter then.
Yes,
That'll
yes.
still be great. Well, thank you for joining me out on the back porch.
Pleasure.
It wasn't too hard to get a hold of you.
It was easy to find.
It was easy to find you. So, yes, thank you for doing an interview with me, and hopefully we'll have some good information about fall, and hopefully you'll have some good conversations with your partner about things to do in the fall and things about fall in New England.